Good morning. Um, it's a Wednesday, and I'd normally be getting up for work in about 2 hours' time. It's just coming up on 4 o'clock, and I'm heading to Edinburgh today so that we can go do our pre-departure orientation, which is our sort of before going to Japan. Here's everything you need to know, flight information. Yeah. My brain's not working properly. We are heading to Wallyworth, just outside of Edinburgh, to get the park and ride in, because as we know, I hate driving in cities. Also, Edinburgh, I don't think is the best place to drive in anyway. But it's just before 4. We're aiming to get there for just gone 8, I think. And then I think the park and ride is nearly an hour, actually. It's quite far away. But I then need to make the drive back. It's going to be a very long day today. We'll see if I have any valuable things to say throughout the day. Right, let us drive. Oh, it's so dark. And raining. Perfect. 4 hours later, and we've arrived. It was raining pretty much the whole way down. I was getting a little dozy towards hour sort of 3 or 4. So it's a good job that we've arrived now. I've parked up in a park and ride. I'm hoping the bus ticket's not going to be too much in. I'm nice and early, so I'm feeling ready for the day. Wow. Long day so far.
It was a productive day to say the least. I think one of the most valuable parts of the day was the exposure to other jets, speaking with them and reassuring myself and them that we're in similar boats. What you will hear a lot with this program is that every situation is different, or ESID. And already, before flying, I can see that this is the case. I met many city-based jets and rural-based jets who have received lots of information, or like me, nothing at all. We found out flight information, which was great, and some of the other jets were very excited to find out we get 2 pieces of larger luggage. This really frees up the packing options. I think I need to do something of a shopping trip to get all of this sorted, including some new clothes and shoes, so it might be an expensive month, but I had anticipated this to begin with. We also had a session on our role as an English teacher and how to prioritise communicative language rather than perfection. If I understood what someone is trying to say, then that is good enough to communicate rather than having perfect grammar. Another session focused on survival Japanese. It is clear that many of us don't understand Japanese well enough to communicate effectively, so they gave us some key insights for izakaya, which are small bars, and konbinis, or convenience stores, which seemed very useful. But I will be honest, the day was a bit of a whirl and I think I have forgotten most of it. It's interesting to see how many situations you can get through with a hi or an yeah. I think the reception afterwards was one of the more useful sections for me. Firstly, I was forced to get out of my comfort zone and speak to people, ask questions and engage in pleasant conversation. I tried to prioritise people who had either already been on the programme or had lived in Japan. Plus there was an abundance of sushi. They also had sake, but since I don't drink alcohol, it was a pass from me. Since Wednesday, I have had more communication from my CO, or contracting organisation. I now know the floor plan of my upcoming apartment, which is great. It has assuaged my fears that I would be living in an old rundown house, but I still don't know which part of the village it will be. And communication also suggested they wanted to try and help sort a car before I arrive in the country, which is great since some of the other information suggested I would need one. The main point being that the village has no konbini. There are shops that sell vegetables, drinks and sweets. Wow. This is about as rural as they come, so once I get a car it'll be a short 11-kilometre trip to the nearest stores. In order for this to be sorted, I needed to buy an IDP, International Driving Permit. Different countries have different permits. Japan uses the 1949 IDP. What I found strange about this was that you can only get one from a pay point. And not every pay point sells them. So I found myself at a small corner shop in Bradford, picking up an incredibly important document for my Japanese survival. It had been a long week and I decided to rest until my roommate invited me to go out hiking. With only 4 weeks left, I figured it would be best if I got out of the house and saw parts of Britain again that I might not see for a long time.
It is the early hours of a Saturday morning. We are about to go for a hike. I was convinced that I must absolutely go see the hills, the mountains of the Yorkshire Dales before I leave once again. So I think it's about 8 hours, though by my standards probably like 10 hours, maybe 12 hours for this hike today. So I'm very excited. I'm hoping to get plenty of footage of the Yorkshire Dales. If you've never been, it's a great time. And I think this will be great to show my students as well the sorts of hikes that we have in the UK versus the hikes that they've got over there, given that my area is one of the more commonly hiked areas. So, ready to go? It's like 6 a.m. Let's do this. So we have arrived in sunny Lake District, not the Yorkshire Dales, which I maybe need to practice my listening a little bit. The weather has cleared up from what it was supposed to be from yesterday. It's looking like it's going to be a great day. Oh, the sun is actually shining in the lens there. There's a couple of people around, not too many at the moment, but I'm sure we'll meet some more on the way. I am now looking at the mountain, and I think I am scared. But one must come out of their comfort zone every so often, provided I don't die. If I die before going to Japan by falling off a cliff because my friend made me climb a cliff, I will not be happy. And I will haunt him. This is really difficult to record and climb at the same time. I will it's ruined the line. I will haunt him forever. And there it is. My death trap. It's nice knowing you all.
It's just my bald spot. Well, they don't call me Bald Man Japan for no reason. Right.
Nice. Yeah, plenty of nice holds up there. You will have to speed this up though. We're on 40 seconds.
I'm terrified.
How are you feeling?
Not dead yet. Touch wood.
There's some pretty impressive scrambling. Look at that sweaty bald head.
If the hike doesn't kill me, nothing will. That's a bad line. We're going to cut that out at the end.
I come to you now as a ghost, having slipped and fallen down the cliff. However, it's a peaceful life up here at the top of the mountain. As you can see, there are sheep grazing. I doubt they had to climb up the side of a cliff, but the views are very much worth it. So if you're ever wondering, you want to risk your life for a good view, don't do it. Unless you're being guided by an expert of where to place your hands and feet and entire body. And then ignore everything he says because you don't feel confident you can do it. And wiggle your way up the side of a mountain. The thing about hiking, I find, is that you spend the entire time looking at the ground so that your feet don't fall over and you faceplant and look like a fool. But when you take and stop a moment to view the beautiful landscapes of England, it does make me think I'm going to miss it here. That is provided that Japan's landscapes don't blow these out of the water. But there's something about the air and the people that you meet on these hikes and your best friend forcing you on the side of a cliff that just won't be replicated anywhere else in the world. So that is something I think I will miss. And you can see now the point I made earlier. I literally cannot walk without staring at my feet because it's so rocky. It's good though. So if you're looking for a hike, where are we? I didn't hear what he said. Langdale in the Lake District, not the Yorkshire Dales, but still very good and very, oh dear, beautiful. Ruined the moment there.
Small man in a big world.